Are you a real estate agent, realtor, investor, or are you in the real estate business and you need new listings and deals? We have a solution for you, and that solution has guaranteed results. How much would you pay to get face-to-face with a homeowner that wants to sell their home? What if you also got their email address and daytime phone number? And what if this homeowner also scheduled you to come to their door at a set time to meet with you? Sound too good to be true? It isn't. And it is 100% guaranteed for you to meet face-to-face with a real homeowner who really needs to sell their home. Not only will you get this remarkable contact system and its 100% guarantee, at no additional charge, you will get weekly coaching, documents, and training on how to get that homeowner and convert them into a new listing. When you purchase, you'll also get a one-on-one walkthrough so that you can start using the system today. Visit www.thelistingmonster.com. That's www.thelistingmonster.com. Or call Diana Ortiz at 213-706-0040. Stop wasting time the old way. Use a monster and get actual results today.
Welcome to the lee-honish Report, hosted by lee-honish. The lee-honish Report is a look at the real estate market and creating effective marketing plans for realtors or investors to get new listings and deals. Your host, lee-honish, has over 20 years of experience in real estate, banking, and marketing. Over the last 6 years, Lee has developed cutting-edge marketing and was named one of the most innovative marketers in America. With over 1 million views, Lee continues to be an advocate for the entire real estate community. Enjoy today's show.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Report. My name's lee-honish. Today, my friend David-Bartels joins the show. He owns a Help You So brokerage out in the Conejo Valley. You can visit him on social media at David-Bartels, B-A-R-T-E-L-S, on Twitter and Facebook, and find out more. He is one of the co-coaches of the Monster Marketing System. We were doing a coaching call for our students, and on the topic of what he's doing for marketing for next year. And it is a great example of all the marketing that a top brokerage will do. So enjoy. This is David-Bartels. Thanks for listening. Is there anything that you are currently doing from a marketing perspective, non-monster, anything kind of clever that you're doing marketing-wise that you would like to share with that you're seeing results from, David? Maybe on referral follow-up or anything?
Well, I'm really experimenting a lot right now with marketing. The thing that seems to be working best for me is Facebook marketing, but not the typical Facebook marketing that lots of other people are doing. So my Facebook marketing doesn't include price or address. It includes images and a brief description of the property. And we drive them to a landing page, and to get the information, they've got to register with name and email and phone number.
Okay, well, I want to break that down for a quick second before you go forward on it. So what you've done is basically employed the idea of clickbait, which is, for those of you who don't understand, but you probably do, like the 10 hottest people on Facebook, those are all clickbait so that you look at the advertising and keep clicking. So what David is talking about from a marketing standpoint is creating clickbait with your properties, where they click it and go to a landing page. That's actually a very clever idea. So what's the opt-in look like?
Well, so the Facebook ads, we get about 10% or so, give or take, depending on the property. 10% of views are actually engaging and clicking on the property, and I'm not sure. I can't really tell you off the top of my head what percentage it is, but it looks like about 20% actually provide the registration information, and then we begin our follow-up with them, getting them specific information about the property, then showing them switch properties, and then talking about our value proposition, and then trying to lure them into a relationship. So I would say that we're probably generating, this is for buyer leads, so we're generating 250, 300 buyer leads a month right now. on that particular program. So that's working very well. So I can, and we're doing some other stuff. So I don't know if you want to dig
No,
a little deeper
I
on.
love this. So so you're getting how many opt-ins are you getting on a weekly basis? Like, how do you break it down from they filled out the form? Is there someone specifically on your staff who kind of goes through those items?
Yeah, so the way that our program, the way that I've got it set up is, so I got 4 buyer agents on the team, and I have 1 inside sales agent. And so what happens is that we're using technology to round robin lead distribute the leads. So in other words, they're just assigned equally. There's no human interaction. It just goes, buyer agent 1, then buyer agent 2, then buyer agent 3, then buyer agent 4, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it goes round and round and round. We have the technology set up to instantly send them a text confirming that we received the lead, and ask them an engaging question, which we get some response, but not an overwhelming amount. And then we also send an instant email, and then the buyer's agent is supposed to call them as quickly as they possibly can. And then if we can't engage them, then we simply turn it over to the inside sales agent, who makes a more focused effort, and the buyer's agents just keep going about their business, because I don't want them working on anything that's not, now ready.
How far?
So that's how.
What is there?
That's how.
Are you tracking the maturation process of these leads? Like, are they being tracked on a board or on a spreadsheet?
Well, no, we don't. I don't have time to do that. We're using follow-up boss to keep track of all the data. I mean, our goal is just to close 1 or 2% of these leads within 12 months. So the thing about internet leads is you've got to have a more patient approach to what you're doing. And so our conversion rates are beginning to go up now, because we just last week been able to implement Facebook registration. So when they click onto the lead, they can register with Facebook, and they don't have to give us any additional information, because they permission us to grab the information, all their contact information that's available in Facebook to us, which makes the accuracy of the information significantly better.
Sounds very good. From a demographic standpoint, I'm wondering, because I was just talking about this while I recorded my podcast the other day. The shift is towards millennials, right? They're saying it's 33% of the market for 2017. Are you seeing a younger crowd come through this funnel?
No, not yet. I mean, we're not really yet. We're really working on. I'll tell you about my TV commercials that I'm starting, now, but in a minute. But no, we're not really seeing the millennial buyer come through. But whether or not we're seeing millennials or not are really based on the price of the house. So if we have an entry-level price house, then we're getting entry-level demographics, which would include the millennial buyer. So a lot of, because we're marketing specific houses, we're having the demographic of the house has a tendency to determine the demographic of the lead. So to a certain extent, we are getting them. We do have a millennial, we are talking to them, but they're slower. They need a lot more hand-holding. They need a lot of education. Many millennials are still under the impression that you need 20% down in order to buy a house, and we're spending a lot of time trying to bust that myth. I'm working really hard on my lender relationships to educate the sales team and to align our businesses a little more closely, so that in 2017 we can do a better job. I'm actually going to be doing some ads. I'm not sure exactly how we're going to present it yet, but basically going to communicate that you don't need 20% down. You can buy with 3% down, 3.5% down, 5% down, even 0 down in some cases, and try to engage them to not to advertise a property, but to engage them in a first-time home buyer private consultation with a realtor and lender. combined. So that's going to be one of the initiatives that we roll out January, maybe February, before we can pull it all together, but pretty soon.
Fantastic. Anything else you're going to try out?
Yeah, well, we're obviously experimenting with listings as well. On my, I did about 70% this year as I start to reflect on this year and put my final numbers together for next year, which I hope to have done today. But we did about 70% seller leads or seller transactions and about 30% buyer transactions. And I really am trying to get that to 50-50. So it's really what so I'm going to be putting a lot more emphasis on buyer sides this year without, in other words, without losing listing sides. So I want to increase both my listing sides but my buy sides by twice as much if I can. So I don't know if we're going to be successful in doing that, but that's really what my objective is. So we're doing some free home valuation stuff as well, offering free home evaluations to people who are engaging. We are getting some listings. The engagement rate on those ads is much lower than the engagement rate on buyer ads. We typically run about a 3% engagement rate on those ads, and the conversion rate is about the same. And then we go through what we're noticing, that because we have the technology, we have a lot of people who are clicking on the landing page and filling out their address, but then when we go to page 2 of the squeeze page, they're not divulging their email or phone number address. And so what we've been doing is going back and capturing what we call partial leads. We've been capturing those partial no-name leads using Intellius in order to get their phone number and email and then reaching out. And we've had relatively good success reaching them and then going ahead and sending them their home valuation report, which takes us about 2 minutes to do using RPR. And so we're engaging people, and when we engage with them that way, we're asking a short poll question on whether or not they're thinking of selling the house and what the timeline is, and we send them the free report anyway, and then we set them up on a drip marketing campaign, both email and phone calls.
Yeah, I think it's always, when you're talking about campaigns like this, I think based on the volume of traffic, you're still looking at finding that 1% to make the first opt or the response, then taking that group and then doing the drip campaign and follow. I see it with email marketing, certainly to homeowners, where you can get a great open rate, but it's that click rate and fill out the form. See, because I reverse engineer it. I already have all their information. I'm just looking for them to raise their hand to what message so that I can start the drip campaign behind it. I don't disagree even remotely with what you're saying. I think I've seen it with you specifically, the way you've been doing your marketing. I mean, the gear shifting has to be in trying other ways to market. And what I'm hearing out of you, and for all of you listening, is that you are away from. Is there anything traditional going on? Is there any door knocking, cold calling, or mailing going on at all out of your office?
Oh yeah, for sure. So, well, first of all, if you've ever, those of you that spend any time with me know that I'm not a door knocker. I don't like door knocking. It's one of the things I love about Monster. I only want all the advertising that I do is really designed to get people to raise their hands and express some interest. So it's warm calling at a minimum, and in some cases hot calling. Sometimes the universe just aligns and it's a hot lead right from hello, but not always and not often, actually. But if I can make that happen once or twice a month, I'm happy. And if everything else is warm, it takes 3 to 12 months to really get them to a place where they want to have a more serious discussion. That's okay too. I'm going to need the way I look at it and the way I communicate. So we're going to need that transaction in 6 months too. So I can tell you that there's a direct correlation between the size of my database which is what I hear you talk